My legs seized, my knees buckled, and I fell to the ground. My ears were immersed with the cheers of the excited crowd around me. Runners continued to cross the finish line as the realization of what I had just done rushed over me. I had just finished my second marathon, and I finally achieved a dream that I had worked for throughout the past year. Training began in December. Running in the winter is tough, both mentally and physically. There were long runs in freezing weather. In the first few weeks, my running partner and I had plenty of motivation. The idea of accomplishing something many had only dreamed of excited us. However, as the weeks dragged on, it became apparent that this would be no easy feat. We had only just started a long journey through a dark tunnel. The weather became worse as the weekly mileage increased. The exhaustion elevated day by day. I went through runs of which I didn't know if I would make it back, where my body would become overwhelmed with numbness. In these moments, all I wanted to do was give up, but I knew that was not an option. I looked up, and although dim, there was a light at the end of the tunnel. My commitment to this training was too strong. I had to put my trust in my body and my coach. Many times I didn't think I would be able to accomplish what I was working for, but the motivation from my parents, friends, and coach acted as the light. The strength that I learned to possess in these moments of adversity gave me the power to continue into the unknown. There are two aspects to distance running, a mental piece and a physical piece. Although physical strength is absolutely necessary, the mental aspect is more important. Each day as I trained, my emotional strength grew and I was able to run longer distances with fewer doubts towards my capabilities. Every morning, although getting out of bed to run became more difficult, I was able to do it because I could visualize the end goal. It would be much easier to just roll over and fall back asleep, but that's not what would take me there. Determination, hard work, and the will to go beyond my limits were what allowed me to push every day. Physically, I went through months of the hardest training of my life. Workouts harder than any football, basketball, or track practices I've ever had were common. Although I was becoming faster and gaining a huge amount of endurance, every day I left feeling weak and beaten. Many moments came where I believed that my body couldn't handle the pressure and I would falter just weeks before the big day, but I laid all my faith into my training and I came out on top. Race day came and tensions were high. There was a nervous excitement running through my body. The race began and before I knew it was halfway over. The challenge had not truly begun, it was nothing more than a training run at this point. Around 16 miles the struggle began. Max, my training partner, started to waver and I had to make the tough decision to leave him behind. The last 10 miles were the hardest I ever had to push myself both mentally and physically. Every instinct I had was telling me to stop, but I had to continue on the path to success. The finish finally came in what seemed like a dream. I knew I was about to cross the line and reach my goal time, but I just couldn't believe it. The light at the end of that tunnel was brighter than I had ever imagined, and I was basking in it. My goal was to finish in 3 hours, 5 minutes, and I had made it by 2 minutes. I qualified for the 2014 Boston Marathon.